Now, and let me say something. You see, he's talking about a lot of figures that they left the government with. Now, this was an administration that was living, that had gone into contract with Ghanaians and other international investors. And some of them, they were promised an interest rate of around 29%. Now, you turn your back and tell them that you can no longer pay them 29% interest rate. If they are ready, you can give them 9%. And you even tell them that their investments which are due in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they will no longer be getting it. They should now be prepared to have their monies back in, say, 10, 15 years. And you think this one has painted a good picture about the Ghanaian economy to the external investor. And so, Richard...
Now, what are you referring to?
No, Richard, what I'm telling you is
the money...
No, I'm talking about the duration of
but what duration, what money are you referring to? What loan, what contract are you talking about?
No, what was the interest rate you promised? What was the interest rate based on which you went into agreement with Ghanaians before the DDEP onset? It was 29%. People who had bought bonds. They were promised some interest rate. You took over. And then you slashed the figure and you even told them that the duration within which they will get their money will be extended. And they were forced to swallow it.
But that's the nature of DDEP, actually.
Yes, that was it. And this has actually painted us in a bad light in terms of the investor community. And you are telling us you are living as a better economy. That's what I'm trying to let you know. Oh. That would not be a better economy you are living as. Oh, you are not getting it.
I can't get it. You yourself, you are not getting the thing you're saying. Because the point you are saying...
No, but even in your write-up, you stated DDEP.
Yes.
Yes, so that's the point he's making.
But when I stated DDEP, you saw that I stated 2.86 billion, which is a residual benefit that we are making from the external component of it. The domestic component of the DDEP was a necessary and a painful thing.
Why?
Yes. Because you got to a point, okay, and as a country, no, it's not about who took us. The debt that had ballooned to the point that it's got to, it's not a debt brought on by Akufo-Addo single-handedly. The point, no, it's not Akufo-Addo's debt single-handedly.
Okay, it's scheduled for it.
What I'm talking about is a legacy debt over a period of time, which Nkrumah contributed to, everybody contributed to that point. And we have added to it. You get it?
How much did you add to?
That's immaterial. I don't know why you keep asking that question.
From
I'm telling you a bucket of debt of the country
over 600
that
billion
needed to be restructured. Okay? And you know, one of the key things, okay, sometimes when we have this conversation we don't pay attention to is that your debt to GDP is not only a function of borrowing, it's also...
So this is the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. Communique.
Yes, that's for 2017.
This is for 2017.
Yes, 12.5.
Yeah, this was what Richard was actually reading from.
So, Annie, so the point I'm saying is that it's key that the debt to GDP ratio of a country is not only a function of borrowing, it's also a function of growth. And you know what happened during COVID, right? The economic growth slumped. Just hold on. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying
and
to you.
And then you get into COVID that after borrowing that we were expecting it to help us grow, we slumped due to COVID.
You know, what I'm saying is that your debt to GDP ratio, which then was a problem and you had to do DDEP to bring your debt to sustainable level, is not only a function of borrowing. So if somebody said that you got to that point with our debts being high simply because you have borrowed, it's not factual, because it's also a function of growth. And COVID, what it did was that your economic performance and growth slumped. In 2020, what did we record? We recorded 0.5% GDP growth. Okay?
Richard, from a 6.5. You are making this assertion.
No,
in fact, but let me tell you.
Allow me, because it was system.
But I'm making a point.
Let me just
Let me conclude for you. So the point I'm making is that we've always lost sight of the growth deficit, which would have reduced the debt to GDP in terms of the expansion of the economy. All right, that was curtailed. So that aspect was held constant or even at a negative. And then so everything you were borrowing then became a factor in assessing your debt to GDP ratio. And so that is the effect of COVID that we need to see.
COVID on its own gave us money. which we could have used that money that came in from, apart from the borrowing.
We have answered that question.
We could have used that money we got from COVID to tackle the COVID problem.
No. We have answered that question. The COVID monies that came, they are in government now. They are going to audit it and show what happened with that money. Those monies were targeted at certain activities around the economy. The growth of your economy is not an injection of grants and those things. That's not what. It is production that grows your economy. It's production. So if you have 21 billion that comes into your economy and it is supposed to do social interventions and to support other things rather than drive growth, your economy will not grow necessarily because you have 21 billion in the economy.
Did not go into any production. It just went for expenditure.
Now listen, where that money would have gone into supporting, what was done by GEA now to support small enterprises to regain back from the slump of COVID. Those are recovery investments. Okay, so those investments will have to attain a certain level that they were before.
Richard.
So the point is very clear that we need to appreciate that our debt is not exclusively a function of borrowing; it's also a function of growth.
Okay.
And we don't talk about that much.
Okay, Abdul.
Richard, you are living as an economy that has one of our key sectors, the cocoa sector, on its knees. Is that a better economy you are living for us? You see, if you take the economic sector by sector, in fact, today our cocoa sector is in comatose.
I wonder what my boss is even doing at Cocoa Board.
I was even surprised that he took up that route.
Don't say that.
Oh no, but it's true. Look at the produced by PBC. In fact, at some point, their vehicles were being towed away by financial institutions. They can't even service their loans. And 8 months, workers were not being paid. They couldn't just even manage to pay salaries. And this was a sector that was in its highest heights before he took over in 2017. And so anything, I don't know, everything that NPP took from NDC, you left it in a worse shape than you came to meet it.
Well, you're mentioning PBC?
Yeah, produced by company.
What happened with the cocoa sector when we took over?
Well, we could go. No, we could. Yeah. You could go to. We could still have syndicated loan. In fact, the very year you took over, you had syndicated loan.
800,000 tons.
Yeah, just address the fact that the economy you are inheriting, okay, on aggregate, is a much better economy than you give us.
No, but you can't tell him what to say because of time.
No, you even ask him.
He's run an
economy that even cannot pay its debt. You see, Richie, you know every.
We are paying our debt.
Ambassador Samkia said I should tell you that the Ghanaians are tired of this line of arguments. Ghanaians are listening to you, and it's a bunch of and those who voted against you. This country must be allowed to breathe small.
No, the country is breathing.
Is it?
And in my view, in time, Ghanaians will appreciate what was done. Now it is honeymoon.
Why don't you wait? Why don't you wait?
Adumaku says, stop disturbing my director and get me something. I'll mention that one.
Well,
yeah, so you see, so the truth is, my brother doesn't have much to say.
No, Richard.
It doesn't have much to say. Because the president has committed him.
Oh no, the president. You see, that's what I'm saying. That you see, if you have a president like John Dramani Mahama that we have,
who is prepared a better economy than what he left to be criminally handled.
You are saying
this economy is better than what he left in 2016.
And economy that cannot pay.
There is no dispute about it. I just gave you the numbers. There's more to be given. The tragedies we faced under Akufo-Addo are peculiar. He didn't face those. Global conditions.
You don't necessarily listen. When we had Dumso, you may say it's all global, but it was even more biting than you can think of. Anything.
Yes, because it was affecting the main businesses.
For the entire period of your mama's first tenure, it was not by Dumso, and he took that decision to invest in the energy sector.
Dumso is not spiritual. Dumso is not natural occurrence. It's not
just as
Dumso is self-induced.
Just as
you created it.
Just
if
as
you couldn't manage the economy.
Just as it was only Ghana which came out of poverty, bruised. That is why he was.
Okay, we're wrapping up.
America is bruised.
Yeah, but
Don't you see what happened to the conservatives in UK?
Are you now comparing our economy to America's economy?
But we live in a
Yeah,
global
better,
environment. I'm not
better,
comparing
better,
it to them.
better,
I'm telling you
better.
evidence of collapse and decline.
It is
of
so.
economies.
How can't you
my
compare
suggestion
that
is
to
that
Benin, Nigeria, Togo?
my suggestion is
Ivory
that,
Coast,
for
and
instance,
you can compare
don't
it to
give us,
America?
Because
don't give us.
those are economies that are trapped. You can compare us to Nigeria, okay? You can compare us to the French country. It's not a complete. It's a distortion, as I told you earlier.
So I mentioned Nigeria, but you
yes,
refuse
but
to compare.
Nigeria. Look at Ghana's economy in Nigeria. Ghana, we're not doing badly compared to Nigeria at all. We're not doing badly
All right.
at all.
Abdul, please land. Our time is up.
So Richard, that's what I'm saying. When you're choosing your figures, just be sincere with the figures.
But I mean, is there anything to dispute?
Yeah, I told you.
Didn't we leave
54.
you?
When you say you are moving something from a point to a point,
Yeah.
and you are comparing two regimes, be fair to the two regimes.
Which
That's
is,
what I was saying.
yeah.
So you don't use 54% of inflation to 22% of inflation when both figures were within your regime. Your regime.
Oh,
Yeah, you use what we left you, the inflation where we left you, and compare it with what you are leaving us.
no,
That is only-
in this comparison, I didn't talk about.
No, you
inflation.
did. She read it.
I didn't talk about inflation necessarily, but I told you that all the
you mentioned
macroeconomic.
the economic
Listen, no,
indicators.
just hold on. It was intentional. All the macroeconomic indicators were trending
Okay.
in the positive. Was that not what you read? Huh?
Okay.
Was that not what you read?
Okay, so Uncle Sam,
Inflation
So
is
let me
a
ask you a question. Let me ask you.
macroeconomic
If you took,
you had a problem and it went to
took-
54%,
Richard,
54.1%.
Richard, if you
now
took-
it has been declining.
if you took an
That's what we're
economy
saying.
which had an interest rate of say
If you give-
14%,
yeah, if
and you are living at 22%, is it trending downwards?
If you take the MPP and give us another 2 years in office, you would have attained a single-digit inflation.
Which 2 years?
I mean, like assuming that the MPP is still in power, would have attained a single-digit inflation. You know,
Do you know you came to almost 15%
Yes.
at some point,
No, but
and you have gone back to 22%,
we actually attained single-digit inflation. We attained single-digit inflation.
and you've gone back. So what shows that you are
And
coming
the
back?
reason,
Yeah.
2019,
Annie,
You can check
I
it.
want to
But
leave.
the point I am making to him is that what cost us,
Okay.
what cost us
Okay.
is COVID.
So the
No,
NDC is
we've
not
long passed
happy
the
because you
COVID
have taken all his
COVID
time.
stuff.
Every time
He's my brother.
we
am giving him a
Annie,
city.
Atlantic.
there was a verdict by Ghanaians on how the economy was managed, and I would defer to the statement made by the current Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Amakofi, but when he was then the deputy
minority leader.
minority leader. In fact, that statement sums up the Ghanaian marking or assessment of what the NPP did in their 8-year tenure. And so, if Richard wants to know what they left for us, what they did in their last 8 years, I would ask him to go back to the statement made by the current Lands and Natural Resources Minister and how he summed up the entire 8-year regime of the NPP government. In fact, there could be nothing better than that. And so, we don't need articles from Richard now to tell us the economy they left us. The vote was clear. You have suffered the biggest defeat in the history of the Ghanaian.
That's right.
Yes, you've suffered.
Annie,
All right.
Annie, just to conclude, okay?
We don't have time.
It's my brother.
They will
It's
take
my
you
brother.
off air.
No, I beg you. Just important point. You see, the key thing that cost us, okay, is from us largely. All right. You know, Honorable Jogate went to NIB yesterday, and he went to set the record straight. This SkyTrain thing that was said to have been some wastage of some 2 million paid for no reason. It's clear that government didn't lose any money. But you see, the people at that ministry, people His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo put in places, they cost us. Because when we were having this conversation in leading to the election and all the period, they could have just given us that information Honorable Jogate went to give, that it was a BOT, but they kept that information to themselves. So across board, agencies, ministries, they failed to give our communicators
So
information.
what was the benefit of the BOT?
So the point is that,
What was the benefit
hold
of
on.
the BOT?
He went yesterday, NIB gave them the fact that government did not lose a penny. What money may have been lost is by the private person who was supposed to build that run it and hand it over to government. If they had given us that information, Ghanaians would have known that the perception of corruption that the NDC is foisting on the Akufo-Addo government is not true.
Well, it's good
but they failed to give us that information. And now he's going to give that information to exonerate himself. But we needed that information to prosecute
was
the
even part of the political.
that Ghanaians would have seen that the government was not corrupt.
Okay.
So that's one of the
deficits. In fact,
all right.
you need to take that advice.
So we're back tomorrow.
No, that's fine. But Jogate was still part of the political
I'm
class.
actually giving the NDC an
Jogate
advice.
was still part of the political class.
I'm saying that that's a defect, and he ought to be blamed for that. And the people who work there, if they had given that information to our communicators, would have told Ghanaians fair. But the NDC must
thank you for
learn
making
from
time with us.
The NDC must
we
learn from
haven't concluded the investigations. This is your own conclusion.
Thank you.
But I'm saying that he has set the record straight.